I still get a bit surprised when people leave comments for me in the comments and be like, oh, they didn't know that Nigeria even have functional HMOs, health insurance. Sorry, I'll be saying HMOs mostly, but I'm referring to health insurance. I know a lot of you already know what it means. Some people say, how does it even work? Does it even really work? I have filmed similar video in the past. Up until today, some people still leave some questions in that video that is over a year, going to almost 2 years now. People still watch it and they're still shocked or surprised that there is something like this existing in Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria have HMOs that is different from the federal HMO. The federal HMO, the one that we call NHIS, has been in existence for a very, very long time. And even though the way it used to work before is different from my understanding how it works now, it has been in existence for the longest time. In this video, we'll be addressing a few things: the available insurance companies in Nigeria, the best people to consider getting insurance, the benefits you're going to get from registering in one insurance company, and how to maximize the insurance company you registered to get the best benefit from it. I'm going to be explaining these things using myself as example and citing some stories of my personal experience in this video. Right now, there are so many other companies that are private companies that manage insurance. A lot of people get health insurance from the place you work. Most of the companies in Nigeria, when they employ you, one of your benefits is your health insurance. So based on the level you're working on or the agreements that the company had with the health insurance company, they will tailor a package for you. Now, this does not mean that if you are a business person or you have your own company that you cannot access health insurance. You can reach out to any HMO that you're interested in and tell them that you're interested in buying a package for yourself or your family. I can completely understand when a single man or a single woman living their life may not want to venture into getting health insurance for themselves. But I think it is really important if you are someone that has a family, you have kids, growing kids, especially in the early stage of growing your family. I think it is really important for you to consider getting health insurance. If not for you in particular, for those children. We know how easy it is for kids to fluctuate health wise. You can never tell with the things they do in the environment, in school. They can easily get into one or two accidents, or health wise they can go out and be playful and happy, and by the time it's evening they are falling sick. So if you're a growing family, you have a wife that still gets pregnant and have children, health insurance, you should definitely, I recommend it 100% for someone that can afford it, to consider getting it for their family. Another group of people I recommend health insurance for are the aged people. You have your parents, your grandparents that are getting old at that point that they need special care and attention. They need to see specialists from time to time. If not for the women, gyna, when it gets closer to menopause, things that will make their older self life easier. Okay, for the adult urologists, all those specialists, their consultations are high, and the attentions, the medications and treatments are expensive. But if you can afford it to pay it for your aged parents, your grandparents, please consider, getting an insurance, health insurance for them. Those are the two major group of people I believe that need health insurance. That is a growing family and aged people. I'm not saying that young people do not need health insurance, so I am not saying that, but I'm saying that as a young person, most of the time, if you do not have a special health concern, you're not asthmatic, you don't have all these special health concern, um, you might see it as more affordable for you to pay out of pocket for the few times you may have to visit the hospital. Okay, so if you cannot afford it as a single individual, as a young single individual, it's good and fine. But if you're growing a family, it's something that you should save towards if you do not work in a company that already provides these services for you. With that, I have addressed who should get health insurance. Now, why you should get health insurance, I think I have also mentioned it as well. For the younger people, I will tell you a few stories. I have a lot of stories where health insurance have saved me in particular with my children. I have a lot of stories. I will tell you just a few. The ones I can remember: Judena at 1 year, few days to 1 year old, I was making breakfast in the morning. I was getting ready to take him to go and get his 1 year vaccines. And as soon as I turned my back, I heard screaming. What happened? This boy sneaked into the kitchen. You know how fast he behaved. Grabbed a cup of hot boiled water that I've already put Lipton in to make tea for myself, and it spilled on my son. It was a very chaotic morning for me. It was horrible for me. But I didn't have to worry about, do I have money? By the time you go to hospital, they start doing, have you been here before? Where is your card? How much to get card? How much for consultation? How much for this? How much for that? It took away the stress of all of that from me. All I needed to do was present myself to a hospital and give them my son's insurance number. That's all. And then start worrying. Of course, I was worrying and crying and calling everybody I can for whatever moral support I can get. But you can imagine, God forbid, something severe happening to your child, and you're now in a dire situation where you have to be calling for financial support while going through that emotional roller coaster. It takes that completely out of the table. Kenena, even when he was about one, they were playing and there was water that he spilled from pure water on the floor. He slipped on it, fell, cracked his skull. Not his skull, but a tear on his head. And do you know what is funny? Most of these incidences that I am explaining, they happen when it seems like I am broke. When I say I'm broke, I mean broke, broke. That by the time you pay the transport and get to the hospital, you barely have 2,000 naira on you. That's how broke I am. You can imagine not having to think about payment for anything because the coverage that I have covers me seeing anybody, any GP, any specialist. My consultations are completely and absolutely covered. If I decide now that I want to see a GP or a specialist, and after seeing this person today, I do not like my session or how our meeting went, I want to see another specialist tomorrow for the same thing, they are going to cover it. That's how it is. Okay. But now I'm telling you based on my package because there are different packages. So when you want to obtain or when you get, you have to read your agreement form to understand it. And if you have questions, you have to call them to make inquiries, to ask them the questions to get clarification. While my insurance is good and juicy, I still can tell you for free that it's not like it's a walk in the park. There are still times that I feel like I should get more because I know people that they have insurance packages that cover gym for them. Yes, they consider gym as part of wellness. If you're taking care of yourself, going to exercise and all of that, you may not fall ill as often, and then they don't have to pay for a lot of hospital appointments. So there are insurance company that part of your package covers gym membership is there. There are some of them that you can get at least two spa treatments in a year. I know someone that how they have gold, platinum, diamond packages that gets monthly spa treatments. You don't have, how much spa is in Lagos. You don't have to pay. All you have to do is walk in there, give them your number, and they treat you like a queen or a king that you are. So I'm not saying that you're going to get health insurance for leisure, but I'm saying that it's important for the primary things as well, especially for the kids, for a mother that is going to give birth. Okay, they are going to pay for your antenatal, they are going to pay for your childbirth, regardless if it is a VJ delivery or a CS. The stress of that is taken away from you. You can now save your money to go and buy cute baby clothes, to go and buy diapers, formula, or whatever you need for your child. You can now save the money that you go and give those hospital for all those things. And yes, when it seems like the money they pay, that the money you pay them is huge. If you calculate what you spend, for me, I have done it over the years. What we spend on hospital appointments in a year is way more than what we pay for insurance. Last year, Jidena came back from school like this. I do not know the kind of play he involved in. Until now, I cannot tell you particularly what caused it. But when we went to the hospital and he got x-ray done, they found out that he dislocated his shoulder. To fix that shoulder alone, only the fixing of the shoulder. I've not talked about the medication. I've not talked about the payments for the x-ray. I've not talked about any other thing. Just for them, it's not. They call it a procedure, but it's not. It's not like a surgery. I've not talked about the payment for the orthopedic doctor, the specialist that's handled it. Only for the fixing of the shoulder is 250,000 naira. Only for that. It's 250,000 naira. On that particular, where do I want to get that amount of money from? Where? So I can't help singing the praises of health insurance because I'm one of the people that enjoys the benefits. As someone that have small children, you guys, they go to school, they play, they come back. They are very playful, but by the time they are going to bed, they are running fever. So yes, I can't stop thinking it. If you're someone that can afford it, some of these insurance they even allow you to pay monthly. I've seen ones that collect 15, 20, 25, depending on the package you want. I've seen the ones that collect their money per annum. They ask you, if you're buying for yourself, if it's a family of two, a family of three, a family of four, depending on the family, no, the number of people in the family and how you want to pay or the package you want to be on. They'll tell you, oh, this is what our gold packages contain, this is what our silver packages, this is what our diamond pack, platinum, whatever. They will tell you what you can get with each package and you will make your decision and decide what you can afford. But I am telling you right now that it is something that is worth investing in, and it is something that you should consider. If you want to know about the insurance companies in Nigeria, some of them in my first video, I mentioned them and I mentioned the one that is my favorite. And I'm going to tell you what I said in that first video. It's not sponsored. I do not work with any of them. It's not a collaboration video. This is just me sharing the knowledge I know, believing that it might help one or two parents out there to make better decision for their family. If you have watched this video up until now, thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you haven't already, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Also feel free to share this video if you can. I would absolutely appreciate it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
I need you to stay. I need you to stay.